Today is the culmination of our graduates' Minerva journey, and we are delighted to have everyone gathered here in person to celebrate together. To begin the ceremonies, I invite Dr. Mike Magee, Minerva University President, to come up to the podium to address you. Welcome, Mike.
Good afternoon, and good morning and good evening to those watching on our live stream from around the world. I'm delighted to be here with you, the Minerva University class of 2025, with your family and friends, with staff who have guided and supported you, and with our distinguished guests. I especially want to acknowledge our Provost, Vicki Chandler, Vicki, as you know, is one of the founders of our university, and her tireless and essential leadership has really helped us guide through this turbulent year towards a very bright future, and I'm especially grateful to her. And I also want to welcome our incoming provost, Patrice McMahon, who is with us today and already impacting that future as well. I'm also grateful to be joined by our distinguished guests, including our founding president, Terry Cannon, who's here with us today. And I want to welcome Takahiro Umemura and Daisuke Takashina from the Nippon Foundation, whose they have become good friends, and their generosity and partnership will benefit our students for years to come. As an institution, we strive to develop problem solvers, entrepreneurs, wise leaders from every corner of the globe, and to weave them together as one community committed to a safe and sustainable future. You, our M25s, are those problem solvers, entrepreneurs, wise leaders. You are part of a community of Minervans from over 100 nations and will be for the rest of your lives. 58 of those nations are represented in your own graduating class. And in taking a risk on a young, innovative university, you have helped pave the way for thousands more aspiring global leaders to follow in your footsteps. We are so grateful to you. I hope and trust that your reward has been learning, experiences, relationships that will last you a lifetime. As I think about the undergraduate M25 journey, I'm reminded of the context in which it began. In your first fall semester in San Francisco, as the so-called Delta variant swept through the U.S., and as communities around the world continued grappling with the pandemic's toll, deaths from COVID-19 in the U.S. reached 2,000 per day. And soon you would have to quarantine in Seoul. You knew before you arrived that you would have to be resilient, that you would have to navigate uncertainty. And resilience, as all of you know, is not a matter of simply gritting your teeth. It requires us to discover sources of joy and inspiration and purpose. And you've done that at formal feasts and celebrations where you've danced and sang, in your film collective, through AI Consensus, on Social Impact Sundays, and in the many unscripted excursions that you've taken together. As I've spoken with many of you over the last 3 years about the meaning of Minerva University in your lives, in cities around the world, right up until the last moment at our lyrical celebrations yesterday and today, I'm especially struck by how many of you describe being cared for by your classmates. You use words like kindness and intelligence, thoughtfulness and calm, inspiration, warmth, friendship. One of you said of your classmate, "Every time I wanted to give up, she was with me." And another of you said, "I didn't think we could become friends. We are different in every way. But that is the magic of the Minerva community. You took care of me." And another said, "You are a gentle man. You take care of others. You're like a wise old soul, but the cool, funny kind, not the boring kind." Many of you also use the word grace to describe each other. Since the beginning of 2025, I've personally traced some of the steps of your journey, traveling from Buenos Aires to London to Berlin and Seoul, meeting with students and alumni along the way. In London, on the way to have a pint with Dean Erskine, I happened past Westminster Abbey, and I noticed its most recent facade, created in 1998 to memorialize human rights activists from around the world. And 3 of these activists I know well from my own scholarship, and their statues happen to be side by side: Martin Luther King, Oscar Romero, and Dietrich Bonhoeffer. The next day, I headed off to Berlin to visit with many of you. And so Bonhoeffer in particular remained on my mind. A German theologian during the rise of the Third Reich, he preached the importance of loving your neighbor at extraordinary risk to his own life. Indeed, Bonhoeffer said that to even ask whether someone is your neighbor is a profound moral failure. Of course they are. This value can be found in religions and philosophical traditions, myths and stories from around the world. In the Quran, we're told of the poor family in Medina who loved those who immigrated to them and found no hesitation in helping them. In Jewish theology, the prophet Micah says that we are required to do justice and to love kindness and to walk humbly. Versions of this moral imperative to care for the other, the stranger, the neighbor, echo across great philosophies and religions of the world, from Buddhism and Sikhism to Confucian ethics, indigenous worldviews, and humanist thought. Recently, I heard similarly powerful sentiments from Reverend Naomi Tutu at an event for United World College in New York, as she spoke about being a child in the shadow of her father, Bishop Desmond Tutu, and Nelson Mandela. And just this morning, Ethan said to all of you, his classmates, "I know you are my friend, even if I haven't hung out with you before." This value is a Minerva value. And yet how terribly hard it is for human beings to live up to it. Indeed, Bonhoeffer and King and Romero did lose their lives for insisting on basic human dignity, as have so many others. After meeting with some of you in Berlin, I took a long walk through Berlin's monuments and memorials, and I ended up at the Memorial for the Murdered Jews of Europe. As I believe some of you know, this memorial is designed to appear from the outside as a series of kind of brutalist concrete slabs. And then walking through it, it becomes a maze whose paths rise and fall under your feet, so that beginning with a view of the city, you suddenly have no view at all, surrounded by steep gray walls. And in this moment, I felt completely lost and alone. And then, turning a corner in this labyrinth, I saw a little boy standing by himself, and I truly had to rub my eyes to make sure that he was real. And of course he was, and this brought me to tears. We are lost without each other. We're lost without each other. And I want to take our undergraduate M25s back to your own convocation, where your Minerva University journey began. Yours was the last convocation that I missed, and I'm very sorry to have missed it. This ritual of ours has come to mean the world to me, because as our students form a large circle by the water, and as they say their names and their homes, and a word that just represents the gift that they are bringing to their new community, I see faces relaxing into smiles, I see shoulders dropping, defenses coming down, assumptions being reevaluated. The process of becoming a Minervan is beginning. This liminal identity that we all share that makes friendship and collaboration across even the most difficult lines of difference possible. Remind yourselves what that moment felt like for you, and about how far you've come in your own journey, how much larger your circle has become over 4 years. I share these reflections because I have no doubt that you are all on a path to global leadership. There are far too many leaders in the world today who are openly hostile and dismissive of basic human dignity. You are already leading by example in the right direction. You're extraordinarily talented, which means that over time, your responsibilities and your influence are likely to grow. Before you've even graduated, you helped integrate IBM Watson into the Dish Network's customer platform. You made a feature-length documentary film about spider monkeys and conservation in Bolivia. You've held research fellowships at National Taiwan University, King's College, here at UCSF, culminating in a capstone involving single-celled RNA sequencing. You've launched your own nonprofit organization to support student mental health in Malaysia. You work to expand pathways to social entrepreneurship with the NGO Ambitious Impact and in Minerva rotation cities around the world. You're on your way to graduate school at Cambridge, Columbia, Harvard, McGill, and other outstanding schools. You have job offers at Amazon, Google, Meta, HP, Microsoft, LinkedIn, Salesforce, PayPal, McKinsey, Citibank, Bloomberg, the New York Times, and many other major companies around the world. You have founded your own startup companies, and someday you will be leaders of governments, of influential companies, of humanitarian organizations, perhaps of a university. Trust me, it will happen. And as you begin the next phase of your journey, you have a profound opportunity to remember each other, to remain close, and in doing so, to keep each other honest in what can be a very dishonest world. To help each other to stay passionate about solving complex problems that matter most to you and to all of us. To collaborate on a better future. My request of you all as you conclude this chapter in your Minerva University journey and begin another is that in all your interactions, you neither stoke fear nor offer empty optimism that denies real struggle, but that instead you act wisely and act together. I'll conclude by sharing what I've shared with Minerva classes before you. Wisdom is the only way that a university like ours, conceived as a truly global community, can endure. I believe the same is true for the world, and this is why you're so needed out there. Believe in the friends you've made and in the power of that reciprocal kindness. Believe in your extraordinary ability to drop into the middle of a new culture and listen and learn with humility and curiosity. Believe in what you've learned about the nature of complex problems and how to solve them. And believe most of all in your collective power over the course of your lives together as part of this Minerva University community to bend the long moral arc of the universe meaningfully towards justice. No matter how far you go after today, stay near and enjoy the rest of this beautiful day.